Hello again to those watching this video. My name is Rob Billinghurst from Omega and I work under the Unified Comms team. And today I'd like to show you an administrative view on the Omega Cloud. So since I am an owner and a user of a VMware, I've also been granted administrative access. So much like I would sign in as a user, I'd use the same details as an administrator. Now an administrator has a couple of extra controls on his portal, and I'm going to go to the company room list. And on the company room list, I've got a list of current or activated VMRs. These can also be scheduled for future dates, and I can also search for a particular VMR. I can select it, and much like the user would for that VMR, have controls over the participants. I can also choose to lock the conference of this VMR, so no further participants can join the meeting. So the next thing I'd like to show you is administering your users and getting a view of your overall company. This is done via the admin page. On the users tab, I've got a list of all my users in my organization, of which I can select and edit that particular user. I can then also grant specific rights to that user. I can save, delete, or deactivate that user. For this demo, I've deactivated that user, and that will show up in the awaiting activation tab. One thing to note is if additional users have registered under your domain, it's ultimately up to the administrator to activate that user. Next thing I'd like to show you is adding users manually. And I can independently add each user, giving them a first-time password as well and specific rights. Or alternatively, I can import a CSV that was an export from Active Directory. We have included instructions on how to do so, and I can choose my CSV file. Once I've located my CSV file, I can then open that and upload it to the Omega Cloud. Once I've done that, I've got a full list that was all present on the CSV. Any duplicates on the CSV will not be imported. I can then independently select a user to activate, or alternatively, I can activate all within this list. Right, so the next thing I'd like to show you is the Bookings tab. And this is again the list of all VMRs that have been used and activated, but this list drills down on start and end dates and further extra controls. So I'm going to search for a VMR, and Dennis has 2 activated conferences, of which I can get details on the start and end dates with times, and the passcode that I can change. On my company profile, I get details on the license type that I have, the number of licenses that I've purchased, and the start and end dates of those licenses. One thing to note there is the license token. This is critical for use on the Omega Outlook plugin, of which you'll be prompted to activate when you install it. On the Omega Cloud plugin download, you can download a 64-bit version or 32-bit to be used for group policy or independent installation. On the left-hand side there, I've got a graphical view of my license usage. So for my organization, I've used 132, of which I have 68 available. And that is it for the administrative access.